There you go, 27 grand for a shopping trolley. Now, I don't recommend that anybody, I don't want anybody to go through what I've been through, and it's not over. You know, since this trouble with the car started, I drink more, I gamble more. You know, I've always had a little issue with, you know, a few quid on the bandits, like, but it's at times it's been controlled, but all the stress affects, you know, it's affecting my life, and I want this nightmare to be over. We've got 2 open court cases, which I don't think I can really talk about. One with the bank, and one with the finance company. The crazy thing is, the person who sold me the car is not liable whatsoever, which I think is ridiculous. You know, the garage, Stoneacre, Rochdale, should have taken, you know, they should have been responsible, fixed the car, which they said they were going to do, if you look at my previous videos. His exact words were, your car needs fixing, end of. I am not a crook. We are fixing your car. Did they fix it? Did they fuck? You know, did they bollocks? So, what can you do? You know, I've done everything I can, but I've been subjected to gaslighting, I've been subjected to lies. The bank lied. I've got every single record, every single call. I've subject access requested every single call from the finance company, the bank, and the garage. I also recorded the dealer, every interaction with the dealer, which pissed them right off, but because I knew something was wrong. From the very day that I bought this car, I knew something was wrong. And initially what started that was, they did not check the car over, a PDI as they call it, pre-delivery inspection. They did not do that. And the reason I found that out is because the car had some damage on it on one of the lights. So, and also the tyre pressures were all over the place. If they'd have checked it on a PDI, they'd have sorted the tyre pressures out. That's a very basic thing. So that's what started all this off. If they'd have done the checks and everything else, you know, this might never have happened. But then, within a week, I returned the car because of this vibration and excessive noise. So they strung that on for about 6 months, trying to get it outside the period where you know, you've no rights. So that's when I called in the finance company to do an independent inspection. So they did that. They sent someone out, but this car was in the garage for over 6 months, and they purposely left the car with no charge in it so that this inspector couldn't do his inspection. Anyway, he managed to do half of it, and he found that his findings were that it was the fault that we were telling him it was, and it was there from the beginning, from when we from the manufacturer, really. So then this finance company decided to ignore their independent inspection, which because they didn't like the findings. So then I set the bank onto them, section 75, because I paid a deposit by credit card. So they did exactly the same thing. They lied about evidence that I supplied to them, which are in my previous videos. They disregarded all the evidence which was against them. So they disregarded the independent inspection, they disregarded the technical bulletin from Psych, who are the owners of MG. You know, MG UK is just a little office in Longbridge or wherever it is. You know, they don't actually do anything. About 8 people there. So the important document has come from the manufacturer itself, which is Psych, SIAC. They're the owners of MG. So they're telling their dealers in, you know, across the world that this is the repair that needs doing on this car, but the dealers in those countries are not doing it. And well, apart from 3 people who have had their cars repaired under warranty in France, which I collected evidence to, kindly gave me their evidence, which is basically a photograph of the parts on the technical bulletin which have been taken off the car, and they've done that under warranty because they're a bit more forceful over there. So 3 owners have had their cars repaired under warranty, which MG UK, not Psych, MG UK say that the repair doesn't work. Well, the repair was developed, they shipped the parts across the world for this repair, and it does work. It's just lies, and that's what I've been subjected to since buying an electric car. You know, it's not acceptable. This finance company is, a lot of people might not know what I'm saying here, but is the bright house of the car finance world. You know, I'm overpaying for what? Because of the negative history, or whatever you want to call it, credit history. I'm overpaying, but like at Bright House, if it's something that you wanted and you couldn't afford it, there was a outlet for you. You could go and buy a TV, but you'd pay 17 times more than somebody who paid cash for it. So, you know, that's where we are, and it's just unacceptable. Rip off Britain. You know, we've seen these things before. Roger Cook, Daniel, what's his name? Dominic Littlewood. Yeah, rip off Britain. Remember that? It's what I'm going through. It's what I'm going through. But why should I have to put up with this? You know. And my channel, Case Dismissed, I started that channel because I've taken a few people to court when I've been ripped off, and that's what Case Dismissed is about. And I haven't even had time to go into a lot of the cases that I've been involved with, but I am going to do that. It's just all this stress of the court cases and whatever has just put me off, and I've struggled to well, I haven't put any content out. I've struggled to do anything. All I've done, like I said, when I finish work, I've gone for a few pints, and it could easily take over my life again, which I don't want it to do. So this needs to finish. This needs to end, and the manufacturer, the finance company, the bank, and the garage where I bought this car need to step up and do the right thing, put things right. The reason they don't want to put it right is because the repair that this car needs is 10 grand, and that's why there's been so many lies and so much avoidance, because of the cost. You know, I paid 27 grand for the car. These manufacturers, these retailers are already losing money because of this EV mandate shit. So that's why you get this, because they don't want to lose any more money. You know, they don't want to stand the warranty, which this MG has got 7-year warranty. It's not worth a shit because they don't fix your car. I recently took it to another garage. They told me that MG could not dispute the bulletin that I've shown you in previous videos. But then when it came down to it, they were trying to get 160 quid off me for a diagnosis, and then they were going to refuse to repair it. But they knew that MG had refused to repair it, but they'd take 160 quid off me. So I put a stop to that. But, you know, and the other thing is, I can't take this car to another, you know, maybe an EV specialist or whatever, because they say, what car have you got? They'll say, oh, an MG, and they'll just go, take it to fucking main dealer. Well, they're not an EV specialist, are they then? If you can't take your car there, because I want this car repaired, because I intended to keep this for the, you know, for as long as it lasts now. I'm getting on a bit, fucking 50 odd. I don't want to be replacing cars. We bought this to keep, and so I want this car fixed so that we can actually drive it and take it places. So I'm in a position now where I've got a Dacia Sandero, and I prefer to drive that fucking thing. So, you know, I've never had one issue with that car. It was a fraction of the cost of this one, and it shouldn't be like that. This car was 27 grand, and you know, to say that I've been ripped off is an understatement, isn't it? So, MG, get this sorted. Look after your customers, because they're not looking after the customers. Get this sorted out. Fix the cars when you know there's a problem. The email I've got from MG says they've known about this since launch, so they knew about the fault, yet continue to sell them and hope. As that bulletin explains, they're trying to fool customers with a steering damper when it's an underlying problem. It's nothing to do with the steering. The vibration and the noise is coming from the drive shafts. So they're trying to fool customers into thinking that the car's been fixed. You know, you might not get a vibration through your steering wheel now, but it still shakes the whole car to death. And what damage is that causing? That's why we can't drive this thing. You know. So, I'm sorry for not posting, not putting more content out. I ain't even started on the legal cases that I've been involved in. It's just the stress of all this has caused me to just not be arsed with anything, you know. And this is what these companies are hoping. They hope that one day you'll just give up. Well, news for Oodle, Lloyd's Bank, Stoneacre, I aren't giving up. I am not giving up. You know, just put things right. Do what you're supposed to do. Do what the FCA tell you. Do what the consumer rights that you have. Follow them. Do right for the customer. Follow the FCA rules, which they haven't done. You know, they did an investigation and then disregarded it. They lied about stuff. They disregarded any evidence that I had, which destroyed their view on things. It's no good. You know, There's laws against this, and that's why I'm taking it to court and taking it all the way, because there is laws to prevent these companies doing this sort of shit. But they think if they ignore it and just tell you that you're wrong continuously, you'll just give up and do one. Well, I aren't. So anyway, this is all unedited, straight from the heart. That's what this is, straight from the heart. Straight, you know, I've told you about the issues that it's causing me. They just need to get resolved, or else I'll end up being alcoholic. I'll lose my job, you know, life will be fucked. So it's no good, you know. This needs to get sorted. So thanks for watching. I've recently been watching a McMaster interview. In fact, funny enough, I actually bought an electric car watching his videos, and he's against them. So, weirdly. But, like him, I love how the car drives. You know, the acceleration on this thing is just unbelievable. On a review, it's done 0 to 60 in 3.6. That is supercar thrashing performance. But the concept's there. It's just the car needs fixing, so you can use it as it was intended. You know. So thanks for watching. Case dismissed. Well, I'm hoping the case is dismissed when it comes. When it comes, and I will be obviously commenting or putting content out regarding my court cases when everything's finished. I can't say too much now, but I'm trying to get things put right. But I shouldn't have to go through all this, you know. The expense is 500 quid to take someone to court. You know, the stress. Then as soon as well, up until I registered the claim, they've ignored everything. They've tried the ignore method. You know, I even give them a polite call to say, you realise that I've put a, you know, I'm considering making a claim against you. Now you realise that I have put a claim in, and you're still not doing anything. No. Well, it's against civil procedure rules. The companies out there, which a lot of 99% of the companies that I've been involved with and had court claims against, they've just ignored everything until the last minute, and then they get a solicitor. You know, they can afford that. They can afford it. So they try and overpower you with their legal knowledge. So I'm just hoping that this evidence is looked at, and you know, and the right thing happens. But why put me through all this, you know? They should have just fixed the car. They've got the money to do it. The finance company is liable. Should fix your car. They've got money to do it. They knew that it was broken when they sold me it. So that's another consumer rights issue within the omissions law. It doesn't matter which way they put it, they've done wrong. So let's hope it's going to be put right, and you'll get to know about it. So thank you to my subscribers. I'm hoping to build subscribers because I've got enough watch hours, but no a very small fraction are subscribers, so I'd like people to subscribe, like and all that, comment. Please comment. If you're going through all this, then I'm quite happy. If you're going through a similar situation, then I'm quite happy to advise you as far as I can on what's gone on. But if you've bought something, the best thing to do is record everything, get the phone calls, get a subject access request in, get the phone calls, get the proof that these companies are doing wrong, and fight it. Don't roll over, which most people are doing. Roll over and letting them take your money. Well, I can't afford to do that. You know, I'm an average working man. I've got 2 cars and an house. You know, there's nothing left at the end of the month. We're just plodding along basically. So put things right, and we'll tell you how we go on. So see you soon. Case dismissed. Out.